Hi and welcome to World Cricket Watch TV. I'm joined as ever by Blaze Murphy.
Hello Dave, how are you? Hello viewers.
We want to talk about something that's very pertinent in world cricket right now, and that is the ODI format. I just want to throw this open to you in just a second, Blaze, if I may. Two simple questions. Is the ODI format dead? Should it die? In a very positive manner.
It's like one of those politicians' questions, that's only kind of leading me down the road of one possible kind of answer. It's not dead, Dave. It's not completely dead at the moment. No,
still going.
It's still on going. Its legs, that's right. It is still on its legs. It's no doubt in trouble. And actually, I think something that's really come up recently that shows that it's in trouble is the fact of all these injuries that have been coming up lately, and it's renewed calls for less cricket in the international calendar. I think Australia is pretty much kind of their third kind of third team at the moment because they've got so many injuries.
But they're doing really well at the same time.
Oh, yeah, they're doing not bad, but
getting some new blood in.
That's true. But the point is, I think that it has kind of renewed calls for less cricket in the international calendar. So and I think that the real danger for that is for one-day cricket because obviously T20s that still hold a lot of popularity. There's still a kind of buzz about them, and I find it kind of highly unlikely that Test cricket will actually
ever be superseded.
No, it won't ever be superseded. In a sense, the answer to your second question is it may not be, maybe not should die, but it's definite that it could happen at some point in the not
And I guess one of the main problems with that, like you're just saying, like the amount of cricket that's being played, like 7 ODI match series is kind of a bit crazy, and I was wondering your take on the England-Australia series that passed like a few months ago.
Well, I think what's really made it crazy is the fact that, if you're taking a particularly Australian kind of context, is that Australia played a 7-match one-day series and then played a Champions Trophy, and then via a little bit of 2020 gone straight into another 7-match one-day series.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a lot of one-day cricket.
Maybe that's why they're so good at it,
No, that's absolutely the case.
I think there's a strong case for England not being ever allowed to play one-day international cricket because we're shit.
That's
Would you say that's a fair comment?
And look, we see the Australia-India series at the moment, fantastic cricket happening, and it's definitely the case that if there's two good teams playing, it doesn't matter what the format is, it will be good to watch. The problem is when we get into a situation where we've got 7-match series with teams that are woefully, kind of different. Teams that are at very different levels of skill. And,
like a Bangladesh or a Zimbabwe.
That's right.
Like Australia.
Exactly, No one wants to see 7 matches of that. But when it comes around to, say, Australia, India, each match has been absolutely fantastic. And
it has, and it's been surprising how well Australia has coped with all their injuries.
That's right, and the 7-match series allows it actually to kind of build this really kind of great momentum in the series. Whereas, a series, say, as you say, if it was Australia, Bangladesh, or South Africa, even I think the Pakistan-New Zealand series at the moment.
That's shorter, isn't it?
That's short as a 4. I think it's 4. But if that was a 7-match series, that'd be just completely boring because there's no chance that New Zealand's going to get close in any of those games. Anyway,
but I guess all this came out of if we go back to the Australia and England for that one-day matches, like there was a lot of talk in the press. All the Sky Sports commentators were pretty devastated. Were pretty bored of going from different venue to different venue to see cricket that, in their opinion, I think the players weren't really into it that much. They weren't giving their all. They'd had a long Ashes series and they couldn't really give.
No, that's true, and we had a few, kind of key figures in the sport come out and question the future of it. Shane Warne came out and, kind of suggested that it was abolished altogether. Sachin Tendulkar came out and suggested perhaps like a 2 25-over innings kind of format.
Between 2020 sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, no.
What's the point?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I think
the key is differentiation, isn't it? Between the different formats.
I think that the best kind of the best idea I've heard in terms of changing around the format. Look, I think if you're gonna have one day cricket, it's got to be 50 over cricket. That's fine. Yeah. I think the best one I've heard so far is actually mandating that the one of the power plays happens in those 20 to 40 over kind of period.
Yeah.
So the bowling and the batting kind of chosen power plays have to happen within that time. And what that'll mean is the first 10 overs will be very exciting because it always is. The last 10 overs will be exciting because it always is. And the middle, overs will actually have 2 batches of 5 overs that are really exciting as well. I think that could be
I can see that. Or what about Michael Atherton's thing? Like, I maybe don't agree with him turning it into a test match, but just getting rid of restrictions altogether.
Yeah. I'm about to fall
Or maybe keeping restrictions the whole way through could be an option, where there's always gaps, or it's already too much of a batsman's game.
I'm about to fall off my seat with surprisement that Michael Atherton wants to turn it into Test cricket, really. Because,
really?
It's so shocking.
What is that?
Michael Atherton, really a kind of exciting one-day batsman, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't put much credit to that at all. But I think that actually the last kind of few series, the Champions Trophy recently and this Australia won India series have actually really.
The cricket's been great.
I think it's blown new life into it, and I guess that kind of leads us to a really key question, Dave, and the one that we'd really like to open up to viewers as well, and that would be.
It's what is your cricket format fetish? Now I don't know whether we've answered that yet or not. We are into ODIs. We're maybe not, like, I'd say I'm a bit of a test match purist
I love
to some extent.
Test matches are far and beyond my kind of favourite.
I put it out there as like the pinnacle of cricket, up on a pedestal that will probably never change.
Absolutely.
In my view.
Yeah, and look, I've written before on this side about the fact that 2020 can get a bit monotonous and can get a bit same. Look, 2020 can be absolutely fantastic, but I think actually what these recent kind of 50 over matches have shown is that it allows teams time to actually come back. So you get a bit of variation in the game. One team can start off incredibly well. In fact, the first game between Pakistan and New Zealand recently was a good example. Pakistan were 4 for 60 odd.
Yeah.
But they actually had time to actually rebuild their innings. And
with a solid innings from Shahid Afridi.
Who's a changed man. Yeah, that's right. So they may not make
take it all back about Shahid Afridi.
Boom. He's worked it out. Maybe it's the whole retiring from Test cricket. He's just able to focus on it now. But that's the question we want to ask you. What is your favourite format? What is your format fetish? Do you love the Test cricket, the whites, the 5 days?
Or are you more of a 2020 person? Do you like the crash bang wallop thing? Do you like
the World
Kieran
Cup?
Pollard? Do you like Trinidad and Tobago right now?
Yeah. Or do you love those 20 to 40 overs where it's milking it out to deep cover and deep mid-wicket, ball after ball?
Or do you love those middle overs where Hussey and Dhoni stroke it around and give like batting from heaven? Isn't it? Like, that's another way of looking at it.
Absolutely.
Hussey's averaged 80, Dhoni's averaged 85 so far in the series. We're level 2 all. It's been really exhilarating cricket. Australia have had their injury troubles, but they're fighting back and they're showing why they won the Champions Trophy, and this will be a huge upset on its way if they do win. That's
absolutely correct. So let us know what you think. I think we're pretty certain that we think that one-day cricket should be here to stay. Maybe a couple of variations. As I said, I don't mind that power play in the middle over kind of idea. And I think always, if you try new things, you can always go back. That's no problem. But always adjusting it a little bit.
I still think 7, even in the current climate, is maybe too much.
Oh, no, I agree.
If the injuries show,
5
would be ideal. That's what South Africa, England one-day series coming up.
No,
so that would be perfect. I think that would be my view. That's probably the view of us here, but what are your views, basically?
Let us know what you think.
Cool. See ya.